This is J. Krishnamurti's sixth discussion with teachers and students at Brockwood Park, 1973.
What shall we talk about? Cats?
Let me ask a question for instance, does the mind need or the body need to have a certain time of distraction where it can evade itself from ordinary life?
Can't quite make out that question.
Does the mind need, for instance...
Distraction.
Yes, distraction.
That's right. See. What do you call distraction? Attraction and distraction. What would you consider distraction? Reading a thriller? Going to a cinema? Playing games? Chattering? Gossiping? Reading a serious book? What would you consider a distraction? Going to church? Does the mind need distraction? Say, for instance, you have been working, writing a book or digging in the garden or reading something very serious. The mind is tired, naturally. And would you call going off to a cinema a distraction? Why do you call anything a distraction? You understood my question?
Usually we mean it in the sense that we're going in a particular direction and something takes us away from that for a bit.
Yes.
It's just a change, really. It's not a distraction as much as a change.
Change from what?
From what it just was thinking about or doing.
Is change a distraction? I'm trying to find out what's the difference between attraction and distraction. I'm trying to find out also why the mind needs distraction. And is there such thing as distraction? Sorry to put so many questions about one.
If you've got a purpose, if you're following a purpose, you can be distracted. But if you haven't got any purpose, then there's no distraction.
So I don't like the word distraction at all, if you don't mind my saying so. Because I don't want to be distracted. If I go to cinema, that's good enough. It's not a distraction from something else. If I am tired and I don't go out for a walk and I pick up a book, it is not a distraction.
If you're playing the piano and some planes go overhead quite loudly, then you're distracted from playing the piano.
You're playing the piano and your hands are tired, so your body or mind, and you go out for a walk. Is that a distraction?
No, I'm saying if you are playing the piano and at the time you're not tired, you're just practicing, and then a group or a plane go overhead making the noise that they do, it would be distracting you.
Would that be a distraction? I'm playing the piano, seriously, and somebody in the next room is chattering away. I either go and say, please, I'm playing piano, go up and go into another room, or I stop playing piano because they won't stop talking and I go doing something else. I'm objecting to the word distraction. Please put up with me. I may be wrong. I'm not saying that with in a sense of false humility. I may be wrong, but I want to find out why we have to have distractions at all.
So is distraction a compensation of selfishness? Is distraction a compensation of a selfish action?
Compensation to one's selfishness? I'm selfish, and I'm tired of that. I go off and do something else, but I come back to my selfishness. And the something else, is that a distraction or a change? Or is not to what I run after being selfish and not, is that not also selfishness? I wonder if you...
Have we moved away from the first question, though, by bringing in selfishness, which, if I understand Nelson correctly, was, he said, is distraction necessary? If we substitute the word change.
Mr. Cook and his wife used the word change.
Yes. Does that change the situation?
Change from what?
Well, that's it. If you have an intention, and you're distracted. If the word distraction is used, it means that one has an intention which one is steering from. If there is no intention, then there is simply change from one thing to another thing.
I'm playing piano, and I'm tired. I'm going off doing something else. Would that be a change?
It's a fact of change. If one is doing something and there's a stimulus, and the response to that is a change, doing something else.
Yes, something else.
May I say, it seems to me the meaning of the word as we use it is distraction is when I need relief from something over which I've got too tense or intense.
Oh, I see. I am doing something under a strain, unwillingly, something unpleasant which I don't want to do, but I'm forced to do it, and doing something other than that is a distraction, is it? Or a change?
All Richard was trying to say is we're listening to you and a cat walks across the room. That is a distraction. That's what he was trying to say.
What, sir?
Richard was trying to say that we're listening to you and then the cat walks across the room and that is a distraction. That's what Richard was trying to say.
Well, it's a distraction if one is interfered with listening because of that. But if one can be listening and be aware of the cat and go back to listening, then it's just a change of attention from listening, the cat, listening, but there isn't necessarily...
So I saw that cat walk across. It was not a distraction. It was not a change. I watched it. I was talking. Why are we making such a thing of distraction?
I think most of our life is is channeled in a certain way, and if we are diverted, we think it is distraction, because we don't live fully into many directions.
Is this a fruitful conversation?
I think it is, because it forms a good deal of our life. We work very hard and then we want to be entertained.
All right, but why call it distraction? I've been working hard for a week and I go off to the beach for a couple of days. Is that a distraction? That's a change. I need some change. I never felt personally I want to be distracted. I never felt I need to have a change of climate.
What about a change of attention?
No, what is behind this question?
Yeah.
Does the mind need distraction? Do you need distraction?
It seems that what's behind it is, to me, it seems that when you say you're playing the piano or doing something, and then you change, then when you change, it's a change of ease. It's not an abrupt change, and the mind doesn't think of it as a change. It's just going. Your attention is somehow not in words or anything, but you just go to another thing naturally and easily. Whereas when you think, well, if you're thinking of changing because I need a change, well, then that's a distraction, it seems.
No, Nelson had some other meaning to it. I'm trying to find out what he meant.
Well, if you're doing something, let's say, and then somehow you get fed up with that, and then you go to a bar and get an evasion out of it by drinking, you get distracted from all the rest of the world. Do you see what I mean? You're in the office, and then something goes wrong, and then you go for an evasion. Do you understand the word evasion?
Are you using the word distraction as an escape?
Escape, yes. Because one obviously wants...
So I've been in the school for a week, as you are. I'm rather fed up with it. I want to escape from that boredom. And I go off to Winchester and do something pleasant or unpleasant. Well, is that it?
Yes.
So, the school being a boring place, I need a change. I need an escape from it, which I call distraction. I want to be distracted from the school's monotony. And I go off to pub or whatever you do. Is that the question?
Yes. And why does the mind want that?
Oh, that's very simple, isn't it? Why do you think it wants it? Go on, sir. Why do you think it wants it?
To relieve some tension.
Are you under a tension here? Huh? Young people are under a tension here. And therefore you need distraction, a change, an escape, an evasion, something to play with, get into trouble. Is that what you call easing tension? Come on, sir. Huh? Are you under tension here?
Not at all.
Huh?
No.
Then would you want an escape from here? A change from here? Not that I'm not objecting to have change. Going off to Winchester or London, whatever you... What?
There's enough change every day.
Huh?
There's enough change every day. I mean, there's nothing you need to escape from.
Sir, can we change the question to something else, which is, are we doing what we want to do? Not only here, but in life generally. Are we going to do, or are we doing something which we want to do? Go on, Sir John. Perhaps I'm putting the question wrongly, or that has no validity to young people, because they don't know what they're going to do in life. Is that it? Do you know what you want, what you're going to do in life? Huh? You don't, do you? No. But the older people, do they know what you're going to do when you leave here? Sorry to ask that question. You do know. And that is your whole life, or temporary thing that you're doing before you enter the wide life. Is that it?
If I answer the question, yes.
What?
Yes, yes.
So you are marking time. Waiting. You will do something in the meantime till you open the doors and enter into the full life. I wish you would discuss this seriously. What is it that you are going to do in life? What is it you want to do? Become a yoga teacher? Become a professor? Get married and settle down? Or go all over the world, as so many people do, just drifting? What is it you want to do?
Well, I wouldn't be able to say now because I might feel different in a few years' time. I might feel different than I do now, so I really couldn't say.
So, find out. Sit down. You're here. Let's find out. Why should you feel differently? I am doing something personally which I want to do. I've been doing this for 50 years. That's what I want to do. Not because it brings money, position, or all that rubbish. I really love what I'm doing, full stop. What is it you love to do? And you say, I'm sorry, I'm too young to answer that question. Is that it? Huh? I may come across a beautiful girl or a beautiful boy and marry each other and settle down. We can't decide now. Is that it? I may entering the world, I see I must make money. I must have a position. I like to have this and that, therefore I must work.
So it seems to me that your profession, your tendencies are not so important.
Yes, then what you want to do?
When I said it, I know what I want to do. It's not in the sense of what I'm going to do as a profession, but it's to find out about
Now wait a minute.
if I can.
The world is insane, isn't it? Huh? Right? Are you doubting that? Huh? What do you say? Huh?
It is.
Huh? It is? Why do you say it is? Discuss it, sir. Don't accept anything. Why do you say it is?
It's in conflict with itself.
Conflict with itself. Doing things, politically, governments are corrupt. You know what's happening, don't you? And you call that sanity? So, seeing what the world is, which is quite insane, are you going to be sane? Huh? Or be dragged into insanity, consciously or unconsciously, drift into it. Come on, so discuss. Or you say, sorry, I can't answer that question because I'm too young. I'm too, I don't know, I like insanity a little bit. There's fun in insanity. Going off, killing somebody or talking, or, there's fun in that. So I'll have little fun there, but I want to keep my sanity. Is that it? Go on, sir. What?
It seems you're either going to be one or the other. You can't be...
I agree. So either you want to be sane or insane. Which is it you want to do? Or be? This is really quite a serious question. Don't... So we come back to the question, what is education then? To help you to be sane or to help you to be insane? Or to say, look at this world very clearly, don't... see what is involved in it. All the intricacies and subtleties of insanity, politically, business. You follow the whole world, what it is like. The scientific world, there too, there. You know all about, do you? Need I go into all that? Huh? No, all right. You know what the business world is like? The army, the navy, the church, the priests, the world over. And that I call insanity. And if I had a son, I would say, now, look at it. Keep, not according to what I wish, but look at it. Consider the whole thing. So, I want to educate you, help you to be sane. Right? So let us discuss that, shall we? Oh Lord, come on, sirs. What do you say, sir?
Sir, to me it seems that any profession or occupation has its narrowing effect on the mind. You know, you're just looking at.
So what will you do? What will you do? You choose to become a doctor. And the very training to be a doctor, specializing in surgery, obviously narrows the mind, right? Any form of specialization is restrictive. So you say that as that is restrictive, I won't be a doctor. Is that it? Huh? I won't be an engineer. I won't be a gardener who needs specialization. I won't be a professor.
No, you can be. It all depends how you take it.
I'm asking you, how do you take it?
I don't know yet, but I think there must be a way to. Even if you have to specialize somehow, rather if you want to take a job, because you can't just do everything. It's impossible.
So, knowing specialization does restrict. What will you do?
I think everybody has like their own. They really like somebody really likes music, or really likes writing, or really likes medicine. It's a natural thing, and I don't like physics and math and music. I don't like everything. There's some things that I really love to do. And so I follow. It's not saying I'm going to cancel out everything.
So he said just now, to get a job you need some kind of specialization. Some kind. Technically. I mean, to be a good gardener, you need to know. Or a good doctor, or a good engineer, or a good teacher, or professor, whatever it is.
Well, so why should that restrict you psychologically?
What?
Why should that restrict how you act or how you live?
He asked that question, sir, that any technical training, any specialization is restrictive. A doctor trained for 7 years to be a good doctor, you forget the rest. You follow?
You get caught up in it.
You get caught up in it. And you have got to work. And you forget the rest of the field. You might say, looking at this man, say, poor chap, he's avoiding all the rest, and therefore he's killing himself. But that life is that way. As it is made, as it is constructed now, it is that way. What are you going to do? To be a really good yoga teacher, you have to spend time, a couple of years or more, to teach properly. So are you saying that any kind of specialization, training, acquiring a technique need not necessarily be restrictive?
Why should it restrict your seeing or
your way of living?
So you keep, listen to this, you keep the technological field there and living there, right? Keep the two divided, is that it?
You're living all the time.
Huh?
You're acting all the time, but I don't see the conflict actually.
Say any job or any technology, anything you're going to learn, it is not something separate from your way of living. It's just a part of it.
So are you saying when the mind is constantly learning, whether it's in the technological field or in ordinary life, as long as it is learning, any technique is not restrictive.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Cat is resting. I thought it wanted to go out. So as long as we are learning, nothing is restrictive. Right? Right? Now, are you learning? Sorry to come back to that. Are you learning? So that when you learn mathematics or geography or how to live, is the mind learning or merely acquiring knowledge, information? You see the difference between the two? Do you? Are you learning? That is, there is no static position, but always the movement of learning. Whether in relationship, whether in acquiring any technical knowledge, is there this activity of learning.
Would it be living if there weren't learning?
Huh?
Would it be living if there weren't learning?
I quite agree, sir, there wouldn't be. But are we learning? See, learning means really, it is real revolution. You understand, sir?
Sir, excuse me for coming back, but you asked the question, what are you going to do when you grow up or in your life? And you see you say, well, I want to become a doctor. And you see that to become a doctor, you must play the game of the doctor, play the rules of the game in it, if you'll accept that. So you have to go through college and medical school
and learn the whole business.
Right. Or be an engineer, say an engineer.
Again, the same thing.
And all this time you're, in a sense of engineering and some other highly technical skills now, you're supporting what you call an insane society.
Yes, but...
if you want to make money, if you want to live...
No, sir. Look, we said that was his question. Let's come back to that. Acquiring any technical knowledge in any field is restrictive. And we went on from that to say, look, it is not restrictive as long as there is the activity of learning.
But to apply your skill, to apply your skill, I don't have the answer for that. But it seems that where you get caught is when you apply what you know in society, and it gets corrupt. For instance, there was a man that made a thesis for his master's degree, and he was a scientist, and he had formed a chemical that would grow a flower with this chemical, and the flower wouldn't have leaves. Well, this is an example. Well, some bright person took this chemical formula, and they took this and they took it to Vietnam and defoliated half the countryside.
That's yes.
So where do you...
So that
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ask where you, but I mean that's what you see when you try to apply.
So that is insanity. Wait, that is insanity, isn't it?
And the corruption's there.
So that is insanity or corruption. Now, what will you do? Are you going to enter into all that field? But to live, to have money, to have some kind of shelter, you need to have some work. And as the modern world is so constructed, you must have some kind of specialization. And as long as you merely specialize, that is restrictive. But it is not restrictive when there is the movement of learning. That's all the point. Is the mind capable of learning all the time? And I'm pretty sure that's what they meant when they talked about perpetual revolution. I wonder if you...
Who talked of perpetual revolution?
The revolutionaries, the real revolutionaries. Mao talked about a little bit. I believe Trotsky talked about a little bit. When Lenin and others said, what is it? Government will disappear.
The withering away.
Withering away of state, and so on and so on.
There'll be a perpetual revolution.
Perpetual learning. They didn't mean that. They meant something else. But we are saying perpetual learning is a real revolution.
So I feel there's a concern here that if you learn anything, your learning may be used by others in a destructive way.
Obviously, sir. Obviously.
But surely, if one is learning for oneself, then there may be a change in oneself which may have an effect on society in a total way.
Yes, I agree. But I grow up and learn a technique which the government is going to use to defoliate Vietnam, or I acquire a special a doctorate, and I'm sent to the front to heal people who have been wounded. So they're going to use me. They're not using me, they are using my technological knowledge for their end.
Just a piece in the machinery is all.
What?
You're just a piece in the machinery. They just use you.
So what shall I do? You're all in that position, my friend. What will you do?
So if I have a special quality to my life, if I've discovered something special, then wherever I am, I'm going to have some more creative effect on society.
You are saying then this creative activity will bring about a change in my life, which then will meet the demand properly. Is that it?
Well, demand in an intelligent way.
That's right, intelligent way. Are we doing that here? I must come back to this. Otherwise we discuss an abstraction which has no value at all. Are you, all of you, learning? Let's stick to that. What does that word mean, to learn? What does it mean, sir?
It means to explore.
Explore, isn't it? Explore. But you cannot explore, please listen to this, you cannot explore, which is to learn, if your mind is incapable to explore. That is, your mind must be free to explore. If your mind is crippled by prejudice, by your conditioning, by your desire, by your temperament, obviously you cannot investigate, explore. Oh, come on, sirs.
And if we're bored at all, we're not exploring.
Oh, that's...
But that has to be...
Of course.
But as you explore, then you're constantly finding things out.
No, sir, let's go into abstractions. Are you doing that? Are you learning, exploring? Not, I explore things which I want as a pleasure. You follow? The capacity of a mind that explores. We're talking of the capacity, not what it explores, investigates. The capacity to explore, not the object of investigation. You see that? Right? Now, have you that capacity to explore? Here we are. I'm asking you this question. Have you the capacity to explore? That means we're going to learn how to explore, what it means to explore. Right? Are you following all this?
You're implying that there is, at the moment of learning, there is no static centre which is acquiring knowledge, aren't you?
Yes, but I'm asking, have you the capacity now to explore? That is, you cannot explore if you are prejudiced. Right? If you say, well, my opinion is much better than what you follow? You cannot explore. So are you free from opinion? Right? From saying, well, I'm right. This must be. Right? Have you got that freedom to look? And you cannot have that freedom if you say, well, I'm terribly concerned about what? The keeping... what? I don't know. I'm dreadfully concerned about pollution and putting all my mind on pollution. But pollution is important. So have I the mind to inquire into that problem? Not because I love to be, be concerned about pollution. Come on, sir, discuss with me, please. Are you learning? Learning being investigating, exploring, inquiring, looking, asking, demanding the answers. A mind that says, I must find out. I must find out why I am lazy. I cannot find out why I'm lazy if I rationalize it. You understand? Yes, I played too much yesterday. I won't play today. I'll stay in bed, and so on. So find excuses. Then I cannot investigate. Come on, sir, I'm talking all the time. If I say I'm right, what I say is right, I've stopped learning. Right? So are you free to learn, to investigate, to explore, to inquire? That is, when you are being taught mathematics, is your mind learning, which is inquiring, asking, investigating? Or you say, yes, I'm bored with this beastly subject and I just learn few things about it and find an answer and get on with it. Which means your mind is being deliberately made dull. You are making it dull. You are not learning. Right, sir? Are you doing this? Hello, Tunki. Come on. I thought somebody speaks. Go on, Tunki. I'm glad you're asking.
But at the present structure of schooling, whether it is possible, I mean, seeing all school and same as in the university, that it is structured to a certain program which you have to go through.
Yes, Tunki, just listen.
So how would you set up?
I'm going to show you. I'm concerned about your learning mathematics. Learning, not the subject. I'm concerned that you have a mind that learns. And I happen to teach mathematics. Right? You see that? Right? I am concerned very seriously that you have a mind, the intelligence that is capable of investigating. That's my primary, as an educator, that's my primary interest. Right? And I happen to teach mathematics. Now, how shall I... Now, we are going to investigate this together. Now, don't listen to me. You understand? Huh? We are going to investigate together how to do this. Are you following this? Huh? Right. Now, together we are going to investigate. How am I to help you to learn? Learn meaning the capacity to investigate, the capacity to find out, not to be told. You follow? The capacity that's sensitive, that observes, that sees very clearly, if all that is implied in learning. And also I have to teach you mathematics. How shall I combine the two? So that in learning mathematics, your mind is free to investigate and has the capacity in mathematics. Come on, sirs. Are you following this?
First of all, I'd make the class interesting for the student.
What do you mean interesting?
Well, instead of putting my soul into it.
Huh?
Putting all my...
I'm doing it now. I'm putting all my soul into the beastly stuff, and you're not listening.
Then maybe...
I'm doing it, Gregory. So
maybe modelling the subjects around the student.
I am doing it now. You don't have to go to mathematical class. I'm doing it now.
If we both are investigating...
I am doing it now.
Yes, I know.
God.
Are we, is the point.
I'm doing it now. I'm putting my soul, my guts, my blood, my heart into this. Which is, I am concerned primarily with learning. And I say to myself, how am I to help you to learn, explore, investigate, find out, inquire with that extraordinarily quick mind, and yet teach you mathematics so that they both flow together. Have you understood my question? Now let's explore it. How will you do this? You understood my question? How will you do it? You have got to do it.
It seems that this leads to our last talk that we had last.
I don't know what it leads to. We started now. Sorry.
That to learn you have to pay complete
attention. No. You
Yeah.
haven't understood my question. We are here now. I'm teaching you mathematics. Thank God I'm not, because I don't know anything about it. I'm teaching you mathematics, or I'm teaching you what? What do I know? I know nothing. All right. So I'm teaching you mathematics. Let's stick to that. And I want you to have a mind in teaching mathematics, a mind that is really extraordinarily alive, sensitive, learning. Now, how do I do this? Come on, sirs. How do...
I make sure that the teacher isn't bored in the subject.
Huh?
I make sure that I am not... If I'm a teacher, I make sure that I am not bored in the subject.
I am not concerned with the subject. I told you. To me, subject comes later. I am concerned primarily, I've been repeating that word, I'm primarily concerned with you, in helping you to have a mind that is capable of learning, capable of sharpness, capable of sensitivity, capable of listening, capable of investigating, exploring, saying, well, I want to find out.
Can't you do it through the subject?
I'm asking you, how am I to do it through the subject? Of course, I have to do both. So, through the subject. Now, how shall I teach you through the subject, which is mathematics, so that you learn? You have the other. Not only mathematics, but also the other, which is the primary thing. How do I teach you?
I would, if I was teaching...
And not if.
Well, okay.
No ifs, no musts, no shoulds.
Okay, what you said you're doing here now.
I'm doing it here now.
You show us that it applies to the world and your life.
I'm not... You're going off to something else. I'm here teaching you mathematics.
Then you show the student that it applies. It's not something separate of what you're living.
Wait, don't. You see, you're extending it too much yet. I'm purposely saying mathematics. I'm teaching you mathematics. And through mathematics, my primary interest is to help you to have this kind of mind.
You must stimulate the interest of the student.
Why should I stimulate you? Oh, you're not dull people. Why should I stimulate you? What is it? Give you a drink? Put some kind of bomb under it to stimulate you? Yes, Tunki, come on, Tunki. I'm going to show you how to do this. Yes, Tunki.
Since many of the students has come from places and has experience dullness in the subject, I would leave for a few weeks any class, the run around freely in the room.
My dear chap, you're not you're not answering. You see, this is what I call distraction. You're not answering my question.
It seems like if you have that spirit, it'd be automatically communicated.
Not automatically.
Well, it would find its own...
I can't. I'm doing it now, you are saying. I'm doing it now, you say, and you're not... Oh. All right, let's begin again. I'm teaching you mathematics. And through mathematics, I say I must help those fellows to learn the capacity to learn. My primary interest is the capacity to learn, not mathematics. But I'm using mathematics to help you to learn. You see the difference, right? Have you understood my question? Don't go to sleep. Huh? Have you understood my question?
It seems as though you're trying to do it through discussion.
I'm doing it now. So what do I do? Come on, sir.
Obviously, I don't, in the first place, tell you what to do. I don't give you rules.
Look, Jenkins, I'm concerned with your mind. And I'm using mathematics, a subject, geography, whatever it is, to see that through mathematics, you have such a mind. Because that's my primary interest. So that you will have this capacity right through life. Not just one subject only, right through life. So how shall I teach you mathematics? Stick to the subject. How shall I teach you mathematics? Or in such a way that you have the other. You follow?
It's a matter of questioning.
No, don't, not... I am doing this now. How shall I set about it? I know what I will do. But you're all only listening to me.
You're making us uneasy and making us question it.
I'm doing it now.
That's what I mean, isn't it? So you don't tell us how to do it.
I'm going to show it to you. I want to teach you English literature. How shall I do it? What shall I do? Mathematics. Let's stick to mathematics. Have you any answer? Must be now, not tomorrow. You follow? We are doing it now. So how shall I do it?
There can be no authority.
Don't go back to authority. Those are all passé. We're finished with all that. Right. First, I will talk to you. Which I'm doing. I will talk to you. I'm talking to you. I say, look, see the tremendous importance of learning. Learning is not merely acquiring knowledge. And your mind is used to the habit of acquiring knowledge and storing it up and using it. Right? Are you following all this? And therefore, are you aware that you are doing this? Are you aware that your mind wants to function in habits? Whether it's a technological habit, you follow, or a pleasurable habit, or any kind of habit. Because when it functions through habit, it feels safe. Right? Are you doing that? Now, not I am teaching you mathematics. So that's my first question to you. Is your mind working in grooves, in habits? You may think that habit is most marvelous, worthwhile, but it's still habit. Is your mind working that way? Come on, sir, I'm asking you. Now investigate together that question. Is your mind working in grooves? Whether it's a pleasurable groove or sadistically unpleasant groove, but yet you like it, or you're just unconscious of that habit. We are learning, we are investigating, we are exploring into this. Right? Is your mind working that way? Yes? No, come answer it. You can't just sit still.
Perhaps we don't know.
Huh?
Perhaps we can't see it ourselves.
I'm asking you. Gregory, I ask you, I'm teaching you mathematics. Gregory, I say to you, is your mind working in habits?
If you're interested...
No, I'm asking that, not if.
No, I'm interested in learning, so I'll question that.
I am asking you now. I am asking you now because I'm teaching you mathematics. And I'm asking you now whether your mind is working in a habit, therefore it's incapable of learning. Is it? You know what a habit is? A mechanical routine. I smoke because everybody smokes. I drink beer because I don't drink beer here, but I'm going to drink beer down there, because that's an excitement that gradually becomes the habit. You follow? And so on. Now, is your mind working that way? Are you exploring this? Are you exploring into your mind? Are you exploring your daily life to see if you are doing things out of habit?
But if the student,
if
the student didn't work by those habits, then you wouldn't have to ask the question. You just go along with the subject.
I'm asking you, Gregory, is your mind working in habit?
I can find examples of habits, but not, I don't know if my total mind is working.
I'm asking you if you are working in one habit, not the total. Let's begin with one.
Just an example of a habit?
What? Scratching your head.
Oh, yeah.
Or eating in a certain way. Gobbling up. Or talking very loudly. You know, habits. Now, are you capable, listen to this, are you capable of investigating into your habits? Are you capable of looking at yourself and discovering, yes, by Joe, I've got that habit?
If it is physical habit, it is easily detectable, but...
But that, stick to one. Physical habit. You see, I'm teaching you mathematics, and I'm teaching you if your mind is capable of learning mathematics, learning. So I say to you, Tunki, have you got any physical habits?
Yes, but when you ask this question, it implies you must be able to go into yourself.
I'm doing that. That is investigation.
Yes, but if I answer yes, then it means I have the capacity of observing.
Yes, have you?
Well, if I say yes, it means I mean, it feels like a vicious circle. Something.
No. I'm going to show you. So you are capable, are you, of looking at yourself and discovering a habit. We are exploring. Habit being a manner of speech.
Yes, of course.
You have.
Yes.
You have, right. Then what will you do with that habit? We are exploring, learning about habits. Do you accept that and say, well, it's all right? Or you see, when you accept one habit, you will cultivate other habits. And so gradually the mind functions in habits. You understood? Are you capable of looking at that? My habit is to be sentimental, gooey. I say, yeah, to any question, if or must be, that's all just habits. Now, am I capable of looking at it and say, why am I doing this? Why am I saying, if always, So I say, no, by Joe, I see I do that. And in observing and exploring that, I will never again say if. I will wash out my gooey sentimentality. You follow? I am exploring. So I say now, can you observe yourself and watch your habits and go beyond it? If you cannot go beyond it, you're not learning. And I'm teaching you mathematics, which is a very difficult subject. So your mind must be prepared to learn about mathematics, explore the intricacies, the orderliness, the total absolute orderliness of mathematics. And you cannot learn the absolute orderliness of mathematics if your mind is not orderly. Right? So, is your mind orderly? That is, never, everything order. Come on, I'm going to teach you.
No, it's not.
Huh?
It's not.
Your mind is not.
No.
Therefore, you cannot learn mathematics. Therefore, put your mind in order. Let's find out how to put the mind in order. You understood?
Are you saying that if you have a habit of, say, holding your hands or...
Whatever the habit be.
Are you saying that it affects...
What?
Are you saying that it affects all learning?
Yes. Listen, Gregory, I'm saying any habit If you say, yes, I've got a habit and are not capable of going beyond the habit, that is, be free of that particular habit, your mind will gradually develop various habits and be caught in it. Your mind then will function in habits. Your mind then will be habitual, common. You understood that?
I'm not sure. There's a confusion between habits and orderliness.
And wait. No, of course not. I said to you just.
There is, yeah.
I said to you just now, sir, are you aware of your habits? Because if you are not aware of your habits, your mind will gradually become crystallized, habitual, just repeating slogans, sentimental, and it's a rubbishy mind. So are you investigating into habits and going beyond it? Investigation implies not only observing your habit, but going through with it, finishing it. Otherwise, that's going to block you from the investigation further. You got it? Now, is your mind learning, investigating into habits? Because mathematics is one of the most orderly things in life. In that is the most, demands a mind that's capable of being tremendously orderly. The more you investigate mathematics. So if I'm teaching you mathematics, I say to you, habits will prevent orderliness. Have you got habits? Habits not only physical, but habits of thought. Habits of attitudes. Habits of judgment. Because once you've called me a fool, and for the rest of in your mind, I'm always a fool. Once you have found me a liar, and say, oh, he's a blasted liar for the rest of your life. That's a habit. Are you aware of this? And so I say to you, that's the first thing we're going to help each other to have this capacity to learn. Then I'll teach you mathematics. Then it'll be easy. You won't get bored with it. I don't have to stimulate you by giving you a drink in order for you to learn mathematics. Put incense sticks, whatever it is.
Structure of mathematics or whatever, in language you learn vocabulary, you need to repeat. You need to get the habit into certain...
Is learning language a habit?
Well, to get a word, to memorize the words.
You have to memorize. Look, Tunki, I'm learning. Learning means inquiry. I am inquiring into the language I am learning, which is Italian or French or whatever it is, German or Malay. My mind is inquiring, capable of learning. Therefore, learning a language will not become a habit. Oh, for God. Huh? I learn because I love to speak Italian. It's a beautiful language. The sound of it.
So it seems to me that there's a problem in that one may be aware that one has many different habits, but one doesn't seem to be able to go beyond that.
Now, you say there are many habits, and I don't seem to be able to go beyond any habit.
Perhaps I'm dependent on a particular person.
Wait, let's investigate. Well, let's learn. Don't ever say I'm incapable of getting rid of them. Mm-hmm. Then you have blocked yourself. But if you say, well, I've got habits, I'm going to find out what's implied in it. Why habits exist.
Well, they exist because I'm insecure.
Huh?
They exist.
No, wait. You've already come to a conclusion.
So isn't that a fact?
No. You have concluded that they exist because you want to be safe.
So that's something I've seen. I mean, I'm thinking...
If you see that, then investigate why you want to be safe. Then in investigating the desire to be safe, your mind is much more concerned with that inquiry, therefore it may get rid of habits. Go, you follow? I'm sorry, sir. I'm working like fury and you're all just sitting there. I've got a habit of sitting on my hands when I talk. I see it's a habit because my hands want to be expressed very quickly. So I sit my hand. Is that a habit?
If you see that's what you're doing.
I'm asking you, is that a habit? Because I see that I'm doing it.
No.
Therefore I'm conscious of it. Therefore I'm aware of it. Therefore it's not a habit.
Can you always be aware of it?
I'm doing it. Look, not can you. Look, Gregory, you've got a habit now, haven't you? Take that habit, look at it. If you're conscious of what you are doing, it's not a habit, right? I am conscious that I'm sitting on my hands. When I go to Italy, the Italians speak with their hands. Most beautifully, you have no idea. Huh? Everything is expressed in the hand. Further east you go, the more active the hands become. And when I'm there, I use my hands very little because I don't like to use my hands too much. So I say, all right, I'll just hold them. I sit on it. I'm very conscious that I'm doing it. And therefore it's not a habit.
But instead of just, expressing with your hands, would you say that was a habit?
That would be a habit for an Italian, for the Asiatics and so on. That's their habit. They say, haven't you seen Italians talking to each other? They hold their face and say, okay. Now, so I've got a habit. Why have I got a habit? Habit of thought. Thinking in a certain way, or saying certain things, doing a physical, habitual gesture, scratching my face, fiddling with my fingers, frowning. Now I say to myself, am I aware that I'm frowning? Am I aware that I'm twitching my fingers? So I'm watching, you follow? Mind is very alert, watching to see if there is any habit which is slipping by. I want to be conscious of it. Because I see very clearly, if I allow one habit to take place, either physically or in thought, I will be functioning mechanically in habits. Because I use the word beautiful. Beautiful people. Beautiful relationship, and it is phony relationship. So I use that word. And I say, by Joe, I'm aware that I'm using that word to cover up a relationship which is not a relationship at all. You follow? So I'm watching. So I'm learning. And when I'm watching, the habit goes, but it may come back. Therefore I say, all right, why does it come back? You follow? I'm at it. Because my whole mind is concerned with not having a habit. Because I see the truth of having habits. You see that? So I'm watching.
So when you say you go beyond the habit,
I mean free of habits.
My immediate assumption is that you mean that you're no longer, that that thought, which was a habit, no longer occurs.
That's right.
But it seems what you've also said is that
if it occurs,
you're sitting on your hands and you're aware of this habit, and yet it's still...
It's not a habit, I told you. When I am aware that I'm sitting on my hands, it is not a habit. When I am aware that I'm twitching my fingers,
so
it's not a habit.
Of my thoughts of the beautiful girl I met last summer, then that's still a habit.
No, that's not a habit. What is a habit, sir?
It's something which keeps on occurring.
Yeah, of which you are unconscious.
How about if it keep on occurring but you're conscious?
But then so why should it...
Tunki, darling, wait a minute, old boy. First, I'm conscious of a habit. I've been twitching, I've been scratching, I've been picking my nose. You follow? Or I smoke. I go through all the gestures of smoking and the fuss of it. And I realize just a habit now. Instinctively put my hand in the pocket, bring it up, light it, and all the rest of it. And I say, good Lord, that's a habit. And I see I have other habits. Thinking in a certain way. Because 10 different ways. Now I see what habit does. There is no creativity. There is no freedom. There is no movement. So I say, no. I'm not going to fight the habit, because that will be another. So I say, no, I'm going to watch it. And when I watch it, it's no longer habit. So I'm investigating into myself whether I have habits. And that investigation demands that you observe, that you learn, that you watch. And if I watch. So learning means watching. Learning means freedom from habits. Right? So I said, now I'm going to teach you mathematics. So I've established in your mind, not I, together we have established that the fact that there is no learning if you turn everything into habits. Have you learned that? Have you not learned? Are you learning that? And I say to you then, now let's study mathematics. Because your mind now, you follow after now I've talked to you. I'll talk to you every day about it. Because that's my primary interest. Because I see the insanity of the world, and I see that we are here to see if you can educate each other to be sane. And to be sane means learning. And you cannot learn, which means learning means investigate, explore, demand, question, ask, find out. And not to be told all the time. But I have to tell you, 2 plus 2 make 4. Don't you? That's authority, your etc. That's bunk. Nonsense. Now I've talked an hour and a half. Where are you? Are you learning? So when you are being taught literature, English literature, are you learning? Or merely repeating what others have written about the beauty of nature, Keats' poem? I say to you, write a poem. Look at the tree, watch it, watch the movement of the leaf, how the branches are, the depth of the light on the leaf and the shadows. Write about it. Express it. Doesn't matter how you express it. And you say, sorry, I don't know how to do it. I say, why not? You see that tree, what's wrong with your eyes? You speak all right. You use English. You know how to use when you talk about football or this. Why can't you put down what you feel, what you observe when you look at that tree? You say, I'm not interested in looking at a tree. All right, what are you interested in? Looking at girls? Looking at what? I don't know, what are you interested in? Guitar playing? All right, play guitar. Is that a habit or are you learning? You see, sir, that means your mind becomes creative, not a dull, stupid mind that demands stimulation. I have, unfortunately, if I may be a little personal, I've been talking for 50 years and more. I am never asked for stimulation. Never. I don't know what it means to be stimulated. That means stimulated by the audience, by the people, or books. I am horrible. It's like taking a drug to make yourself feel strong. I said, well, silly. Be strong. Why depend on a drug? You fellows shall learn. And then you will be real revolutionaries, not this phony, long-haired, whatever it is. It's 1 o'clock. Basta.